them explain how to paint with watercolors. Watercolor is way better than oil painting. With oil painting, you can cover your mistakes, whereas with watercolors, you cannot. So first you need to decide what you are going to be painting. You can choose whatever you would like, and then you would draw on a paper which is called a matte piece of paper, and you draw very lightly with pencil. Once you're finished, you can decide what colors you'd like to choose. There are many different colors to choose from, and once you decide, you can begin. So you may pick your first color. You have a water jar where you put your special paintbrush into it, and then you dab it into the paint on your palette. Next you would paint on your painting on your piece of paper, which needs to be laid flat on a table so that the water does not go running down the page. So once you have began painting, you want to make sure that you're painting very lightly and not using too much water. Once you're finished using one color, going throughout the painting, wherever you want to paint that with that color, you go on and clean your brush in the water jar, and then you choose a different color to begin painting with. But you have to remember to paint very lightly with your paints. Once you're finished painting your first layer onto your paper, if you want to go back and make something darker, you may do so by repainting a color on top of the same color. But you have to be very careful, and I suggest you be super careful, that you do not put too much because you cannot go back and erase your mistakes. After you're finished making everything that you would like darker, then you want it to dry. Next, you have two different options after you let it dry. You may leave the painting the way it is, or you can go back through with Indian ink, and you can make lines more bold, and you can make features darker, and then once you're finished, you want to let that dry. before you're fully completed, you want to make sure that you sign somewhere on the painting to make sure that no one takes credit for your painting because it is yours. And that's all. Something that I really enjoy doing is waxing my car. I will take the hard wax and rub it all along my car and make sure I let it dry until it's a hazy color. After that, I do the wax off routine and wax off the entire car until it's very shiny. The next thing that I go to do is I wax my hubcaps. I put wax on all of them and then wax them all off. And then the next thing that I notice is my tires are pretty dull. So I spray on some shiner and then rinse that off as well. After I'm finished waxing my entire car, I like to drive around and have people look at my shiny car and I can be proud.